at which we want to communicate to the country a number of decisions that we have taken as a party. We apologize for being late, and the statement that we want to present to you will also be issued to you electronically, and if you want a physical copy, it will also be made available. If you guys are ready, then we will start. The People's Front for Freedom will not field a presidential candidate in the forthcoming 2026 presidential elections. The party, PFF, has made this decision in the broader interest of building a single, stronger freedom-seeking force that should steer the country throughout this turbulent political period and hold it together after. The continued disappearance and abduction of citizens, including candidates, is turning 2026 elections into a militarized campaign. It is this desire to unite the country against family and military rule that made us sign a cooperation agreement with the Alliance for National Transformation on July 2nd, 2025. The forthcoming elections are designed by Museveni and his family to be the worst in our history. Electoral processes have been taken over by the military after overrunning all civic institutions, including the Electoral Commission. Both the judiciary and parliament now exist in name. The country faces a real existential threat from the Museveni family. The PFF and ANT have, since the signing of the cooperation agreement, engaged and held at least 2 meetings with the National Unity Platform, aimed at aggregating our efforts and reducing duplicity. The 3 parties have intensely discussed the usually difficult issue of fielding a joint presidential candidate. The ANT believes that a coalition can be built around 2 presidential candidates, Major General Gregory Mugisha Muntu and Honorable Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. That these 2 candidates with different appeal would now be presented to the country as though they are one. The National Unity Platform, on the other hand, strongly believes in a joint presidential candidate who has a wider appeal. Like NUP, the PFF also believes in a joint presidential candidate who should lead the campaign for freedom. We would therefore like to report to the country that our discussions had progressed to this level. The National Unity Platform asked for a break to conclude its vetting processes. The discussions will therefore resume when NUP returns. That being the case, who will PFF endorse? If our discussions arrive at a joint freedom presidential candidate, we will rally our forces, our supporters and leaders behind that candidate. We are also open to the idea of twin freedom candidates if our parties resolve in that direction. If our joint efforts yield no united front, we hope they will, we will announce our next course of action after the presidential nominations. The PFF National Campaign Team, as discussions with colleagues continue, the PFF has assembled a national team to coordinate the freedom campaigns. The Freedom Coordination Team will hold regional, sub-regional, and district rallies together with our nominated parliamentary and local government candidates. This team will be led by our leader, Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye. Below are the other members of this team. Honorable Lord Mayor Elias Lukwago, Dr. Lurume Bayiga, Honorable Betty Aol, Honorable Jack Wamai, Honorable Philip Wafula Ogutu, Honorable Salam Musumba, Ambassador Waswabiri Gwa, Honorable Francis Mwijuche, Honorable Harold Muhindo, Honorable Roland Mugume Kajinda, Mr. Wycliffe Bakandonda, Dr. Elizabeth Chewalabi, Honorable Dr. Nicholas Kamara, Honorable Semju Ibrahim, Honorable Namanya Naboth, Honorable Nyakato Asinas, Honorable Betty Muzanira, Honorable Fred Triamuweza, Honorable Ojoko Bileo, Honorable Kavusu Moses, Honorable Doreen Nyanjura, Honorable Stanley Katembeya, Honorable Joan Nawatanzi, Honorable Emmanuel Omoro, Mr. Opoka Kenneth, Honorable Alam Florence, Honorable Onega Robert. The detailed list is available. We'll share it because we have also structured it per region, per sub-region. So we'll share with you the detailed list of our operation and campaign team. Militarization of elections and abductions. As noted earlier, the next elections are already threatening to be the worst in Uganda's recorded history. The military headed by the notorious General Muhoozi Kainerugaba is abducting and disappearing citizens with impunity. Muhoozi's 80-year-old father, who is biologically weakening by the day, has decided to unleash his brutal son on two citizens. There is no credible voters register to speak about. The election calendar is being crafted to suit the biological inadequacies of Mr. Museveni. Security, which should ordinarily keep law and order, has been instructed to fail opposition campaigns. Mr. Museveni wants to serve the country with a controlled campaign in which simple things like processions and rallies are almost banned. The media is under increasing pressure. Museveni has had criminal gangs under the guise of empowering ghetto communities. Our leaders, Dr. Kizza Besigye, Obeid Lutale, Sam Mugumya, and a host of other citizens belonging to other parties and those with no political affiliation, remain in detention on politically motivated charges. Sam Mugumya joins, in his case, a list of citizens that have been disappeared by this regime. The regime has emptied the national treasury because it requires lots of money to rent for support. This is what awaits the opposition in the forthcoming elections. This is what awaits the country. We can only surmount it with a united and well-coordinated force. PFF National Call to Action. The PFF calls all citizens to unite and work for a change, in a coordinated manner in the midst of all these threats. We call upon our supporters and leaders throughout the country to embrace and work with all forces of change. Be aware that the dictator will seek to divide us. even more using intimidation, money, and propaganda. We warn the Electoral Commission not to falsify the National Voters Register and not to assign NRM vigilantes with the electoral management. We also instructed all active citizens to compile names of NRM party leaders and vigilantes that have been drafted into electoral management by the Electoral Commission and forward these names to us. The Electoral Commission still has a chance where they have drafted in NRM vigilantes in election management to expel them and stop them. We will not just stop at exposing them. Finally, all opposition parties should work together to cause the indictment of the perpetrators of enforced disappearances and abductions, especially the top leaders of government and security forces at the International Criminal Court. Freedom for all. All for freedom. That's our statement. If there are questions, we will take them.